3x5 Live
podcast.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you see Jessie in a toboggan beanie or whatever you call it.
A toboggan.
Is that what some people call it? I think people
I thought that was a sled.
Yeah. Well, anyway, she's freezing.
Because I'm freezing.
Always.
This is me. All fall and all winter. I am so cold all the time. I have to hear
about it all the time.
Oh, stop it.
So last week we talked about the silent killer.
So dramatic. Negative self-talk, the stories we tell ourselves.
Yes. And this week, in honor of launching the Habit Tracker card, we're going to talk a little bit about habits.
You might have seen an email from us. This has been on the website for a little bit, but we just officially launched it. And we have our Habit Tracker cards that we are so excited to kind of walk through.
Yeah, so just an overview of the actual product, and then we'll kind of get into best practices and whatnot. But it is a monthly tracker. So you get, I think there's 15 cards, a few extra there in case you lose one or whatnot. But you can track 11 habits. And then per habit, there's 31 boxes. So for 31 days. So it's kind of like, did you or did you not do that habit on a given day? So you can either say, hey, I want to do this thing 8 times in a month. So then you go 1 through 8 and count. Or you can almost look at it as calendar. That's how I do it. Mm-hmm. So I did something on the 1st, the 3rd, the 6th. And then I can kind of track it from a calendar perspective. So that's an overview of the cards. It's creased down the center so you can carry it around with you if you choose.
Mm-hmm.
And
just know, like when we decided to do 11 habits, maybe you want to talk about. Bryan is very, very clear on these buckets that he has. So his habits can be kind of extensive.
So no need to fill in 11.
No, I was just going to say, in fact, you can start with 1.
Yes,
one's a really nice place to start.
We suggest you started with 1. But I'm big in, I wanted to create something I would use. So I have goals for like my 3 buckets of love, or 3 buckets of life: energy, work, and love. So I have habits that I create in each bucket. So they kind of add up.
Right.
So we want to give people the opportunity to track multiple habits, not just 2 or 3.
And maybe month 1, you start with 1, and then month 2, you continue with that habit. Then you enter another one, month 3, and you can keep adding on. So really it's a choose your own adventure habit tracker, but just the process of being intentional with your habits to help build and meet your bigger goals is going to be so awesome for each of you to kind of go through that process.
Right. So, I was super excited to launch this product because I used to be a goal-setting machine.
Well,
hold on. 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But then at the end of the year, I didn't achieve any of those goals because I just write them out, and then I would do no action steps to get them done. But when I started turning my goals into habit goals that would build, that's when I truly started to achieve success by creating more habits that then build up to a bigger goal.
Mm-hmm. And you are really, really great. He tracks his habits, and he has a process too, but you track them daily.
Yeah.
Which gives you, I think, that sense of like, wow, like a win, like I accomplished something, or, it allows you to organize your schedule the following day or that week in order to prioritize it if you did miss it or something. So I know that it's been really, really helpful for you. But I was thinking about some things to consider when you do start to create habits. We've talked about habits in other podcasts, so this could be some information that you might have heard before, but one of the things is like motivation. Like if you're going to create a habit, it has to be something that you're motivated to do. So if you're talking about like movement or going to the gym and it's something that you're dreading and that you're not finding, that sense of accomplishment after you do the habit, it's not going to stick. And so even if you're thinking about like, I don't know, going to play outside with your kids, right? And it's something that you're tracking where 30 minutes, I want to take my kids outside. But when I'm outside, my phone's away and I am, interacting with them completely, and I'm moving naturally with them. When you play with kids, I don't know if you noticed, but our kids have one speed. They run all the time. So, if you can keep up with them right there, that's movement in and of itself. So picking habits that you're motivated to actually accomplish, not ones that you're dreading, especially when you're starting off with creating habits. Pick something that you're going to be able to achieve. And then that regularity piece of it. Bryan talked about that you could do 3 days a week. You could do every other day. You could do once a week, that you're trying to accomplish whatever it is. But the more consistent that you do these, the greater the neural pathways are that it becomes a behavior that it's automatic for you. Mm-hmm. So if you can, do it as often as possible, it's going to become stronger in that every day kind of mentality.
Yeah. And like you were saying before, like the same way in the same place, at the same time.
Yeah. If you can be consistent, they say that it's easier to establish a habit when you do it at the same time, the same place, in the same way. So like if you are trying to meditate, you have a meditation cushion and you're doing it in the morning, and it's that you wake up and you do it. The other thing we've talked about, and James Clear's research with Atomic Habits, he talks about habit stacking.
Yep.
So along with that consistency of same time, same place, same way, if you could also stack it with something that you're automatically doing. So in the morning, I brush my teeth and then I hit my meditation cushion, or, the first thing you do is, drink a glass of water. After a glass of water, you take your supplements, right? Supplements are hard for me to remember to take. I'm always creating habits around them, right? Movement, meditation, and vitamins. Those are my goals. Those are my habits. So I thought that it would be helpful for you to hear some of Bry's, because sometimes just the idea of like, where are we building this into our day? Using the schedule card to even put them in your schedule. So if 6 a.m. is going to be your meditation time, awesome, put it in the schedule. Or if I'm planning to move after I get home from work, then that goes in that 6 o'clock slot or whatever it is. Because if you're not building it into your day, you're less likely to actually achieve and do the habit. But yeah, I was going to pass the mic to Bry because you do this so well. And I think maybe if you're thinking like, what do I need to create a habit around? First, you start big, right? So you pick your goal. And what is the goal you're trying to achieve? And then you create smaller bite-sized habits that help you get that. So if it's, to get in shape physically, okay, well, that's a nutrition goal. That's a movement goal. That's, there's different pillars that go into that larger piece. So first think big and then work backwards. And then Bry's going to give you some examples.
Yeah. So some things that I track, obviously I work out regularly, so I don't really need to track workouts. Like times I go for the run or go on the Peloton. But one thing as I age, I'm approaching that big 4-0, is I haven't been good at stretching, and I didn't do core regularly. So two major habits, in the kind of fitness space was doing 10-minute stretch and 10-minute core routine. And so I tried to do 12 stretches in a month, and I tried to do 16 core workouts in a month. And that's, just two things I'm tracking there. I track cold showers. And I also track what I call clean days. So the idea of a clean day, and it's different for everybody, but I kind of made that term up. It's like when I don't eat any processed carbs, I don't eat any like processed like sugars, and I don't have any alcohol. So that's like a clean day. And I track that on a monthly basis and try to get a goal of having clean days. Some other ones I track is putting my phone away from about 5:30 to when the kids go to bed, and just having that out of sight, out of mind. So I track when I do that, because it was a bad habit. I'd be checking emails or getting work calls during the dinner hour, and it just wasn't healthy for our kids to see that. And I recognize that. So I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to actually squash this, I better make it a habit.
Yeah.
So I created a habit around that need. I did have a habit of reading 10 pages, and I made that 10 pages 2 pages. And why did I do that? Because sometimes I'd lay in bed and I'd be like, I don't have time for 10 pages. So then I just wouldn't even do it.
That's achievable.
Yeah. So I was just like, I'm going to make my floor 2 pages, and I never read just 2 pages. I mean, I'm at least reading like 5 pages because I just start. But when it was 10 pages, I just wouldn't even start. And it's better to read 5 than, none. And then for work, I try to do like 20 points of contact. It gets me on the phone. Like I have a sales job, so it really engages me in doing outbound phone calls. So that's something that I try to do like on a daily basis, trying to get 20 POC calls, as I call them. So those are just some different ideas.
And it can be as specific as you want. Like Bry's are very specific to different areas of his life, right? So I think more than anything, what you're trying to show is, if this sounds like a lot, right? Like if it sounds like a lot, eventually the idea is that if you're habit tracking for a long enough period of time, that it becomes a behavior and it becomes something that you do automatic. And so if you feel like you have it dialed in, you can remove that from your tracker eventually, if it takes 5 months or 6 months or whatever.
I don't have meditation on there anymore because now it's ingrained.
Or exercise, right? So it becomes the behavior. The habit is the baby steps to get it to become something that you adopt all of the time. And so starting, with multiple things that lead you to your goal, and then eliminating them as you start to become, it's just ingrained, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we would love, as a community, we do the Friday card share. I would love to see your habit tracker cards if you've bought the product and you're using them. I'm going to start using them too, because now we have them, and I'll track mine as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a little bit more creative with my movement, meditation, and vitamins.
Yes,
I'm going to add a few. I have goals.
Yes, you do. You do. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, write a review. That helps a ton. And we celebrated 5,000 downloads. So thank you. I mean, we were super pumped. Again, this didn't start out as like,
we're going to do a podcast.
No, it started out like, let's create this product to hopefully help some people, like, get more organized and celebrate little wins in life. And then this is something we just decided to do, and it's been a ton of fun.
It has been so much fun. And you guys listen, which is amazing.
Yeah, and if you're still listening right now, like, that means you made it to the end.
You made it to the end.
Yes. Winning.
We hope that you have an awesome week, and we will touch base with you next week.
See you guys.
See ya.
Hello world, wake me up to another good morning, time to go.